Happy to be introducing this presentation, MT5. It's getting better all the time. I'm here to talk about it. We have Christoforos and Tony, so please welcome them with a warm round of applause, and we'll get started. And just a reminder, we'll have time for a little bit of time for questions at the end.
Okay. I would like to welcome everyone to our workshop presentation on MetaTrader 5, Client Management and Analytics. For those which we haven't met, I'm Christoforos, and this is my colleague Tony. Together we are running the sales operations at MetaQuotes software. Thank you so much for joining, and I'm sure you will find today's session both useful and very interesting. Please collect any questions you may have, and at the end we're going to have a Q&A session. And we will start by letting you know that we have completely stopped the sales of MetaTrader 4 licenses around 1 year ago due to the fact that it was built on an outdated architecture, leaving us no room for further developments on MetaTrader 4. It was no longer possible to implement new features to meet the increased requirements of the brokers, traders, and the industry nowadays. With this said, MetaTrader 5 is now the industry standard and has taken the industry by storm. The world's largest brokers have already onboarded the system, with others following. The uptake has exceeded our expectations, and we continue to put all of our resources into the system, very frequently adding new functions, new features, some of which we are going to present to you today. I will now pass you over to my colleague Tony, which in turn is going to demonstrate our new onboarding and CRM type management functionality.
Okay, these new updates and features that we will show to you now are only available on the MetaTrader 5 system. They are a work in progress, so expect to see them improving from time to time. We have actually made a lot of general improvements to MT5 over the past few weeks. However, today we will just pick up on 3 of the main ones, which in my opinion are the most important things, all of which we will present to you right now. These are our new onboarding functionality, as well as our new back-office CRM type services, and finally detailed analytics for our brokers to use. So we will now start off with our onboarding. Now, as you can see in the administrator terminal in the clients and orders section here, we have now added allocations functionality. So now the brokers can basically add as many account allocations as they like, giving their traders a lot more choices in the types of accounts that they can open from a broker's website and from the installer links. For each allocation, you can easily decide for whichever group in your system that you want these accounts to be allocated to, whether it is a demo account or a live preliminary. And from here, you can add any type of description that you want, for example, to state if it is a netting account or a hedging account, and so on. You can also decide on the leverages that you want to give to these specific traders. And from here, you can also decide on the country or range of countries that you allow this allocation group to be available in. And by using this method, you can basically create different types of accounts for different countries in order to manage and control your conversions. We have also added a couple of tick boxes, like you see here. And what these do? They basically allow you to decide if you wish to request KYC documents from your trader's side while they open an account with you. And also, if you want to push a more advanced registration form or registration process onto them. And I will show you what this all looks like in a minute from now. We've also added a series of agreements into this process, basically allowing you to push disclaimers onto your traders via URL. And that means that within the registration process, that the traders must agree to your specific terms and your specific conditions before the actual accounts can be created. This is all to align with the general data protection policies. So to summarize, it's basically from this section here that allows you to manage and your traders' registration processes. Now let's see what this all looks like in practice. And for this demonstration, I will register an account directly from a front-end terminal here. So not only can I open a demo account like before, but now I can open a real account for live trading. So the possibilities for opening real accounts has now been significantly expanded. And as you can see, the system asks for standard details like names, date of birth, gender, email addresses, and so on. You know, there's nothing new here. You've seen this all before. However, don't forget earlier when setting up that account allocation, I actually ticked the boxes and opted to have a more advanced registration form pushed to my traders and also to request KYC documents from their side. So what does this look like? I just click next to show you. And as you can see, I now have the options to instantly upload my KYC documents. So now a trader can instantly upload his ID just with a simple click. He can upload his utility bill. And the clever thing is that these documents will now automatically be passed and sent to this back office. And I'm actually referring to our new back office functionality that I will show you shortly. So once these documents are uploaded, I now continue through this process. And as you can see, it takes me to a more advanced registration where I am asked more detailed questions like employment status, education level, my source of wealth, my net worth, the annual deposits I intend to make, and so on. This is all more in line for MiFID II, and you know, all these functionalities will basically help your traders to open real accounts a lot faster, a lot quicker, without any unnecessary bureaucratic procedures. And the idea behind all this, and where we would like to go, is that sooner or later, the brokers will be able to fully customize their registration processes. They can ask their traders anything that they want and get their traders trading on live accounts a lot quicker. Next, we also have this section allowing the traders to let the brokers know how many years trading experience they have on different types of markets. We have the risk disclaimers. The traders just click on them. They automatically pop up. The traders have a good read. And once they agree to your specific terms or your specific conditions, only then this account can actually be generated. Okay, so now this account is created. It's new. There's a login and password, as you can see. And what we've also added now is QR code into this process. So basically, if a trader now pulls out his mobile phone, points his camera to this code here, what it does, it automatically opens the MetaTrader 5 mobile app, and it opens up to this exact same specific account and login that we've just generated right now. And even if this trader doesn't have MetaTrader 5 already installed on his mobile, then what it would do, instead, it would just divert him to the App Store in order to download it. Okay, so moving on, we will now move on to this new back office functionality that I mentioned. And although this is available on an administrator level, I'm just going to demonstrate this to you right now on a manager's level instead. So here's my manager terminal, and here you can see all my trading accounts. These are all my traders. However, you may have noticed that we've added a new section known as clients. So what is the difference between trading accounts and clients? Well, trading accounts, as you know, has always been there. This is simply a database of all your individual trading accounts and your traders. However, in this new client section that I'm going to show you now, how this works, when a trader goes to you, our MetaTrader 5 system automatically generates this unique profile for this trader, which basically consolidates everything all into one place. So if basically all the operations are now focused around the client, aggregating all information about this client, including his personal details, KYC documents, and all his trading accounts consolidated. So if I go to one of these profiles, for example, and click on it, this one here, the first thing that you probably notice is that this trader has so many different types of trading accounts. You know, it doesn't matter how many trading accounts this trader has, but he will only ever have just one of these unique profiles that you're looking at. And, you know, all his trading accounts are all stored in one place. The broker can see everything. You can clearly see how many demo accounts this trader has. You can clearly see how many real accounts this trader has, all their preliminary accounts, and so on. And the cool things that you can basically manage each of these accounts individually, one by one, just by clicking on them. So if I want to manage this account here, I just click on it and manage that account. If I want to manage this real account here, I just click on it and again, manage that specific account. So it's very easy to use, as you can see. Now, if this specific trader wants to open more trading accounts with you right now, then of course his new trading accounts will also be added to this list here. And even if this trader tries to register an account with you, providing slightly different details and information during the registration process, our system will still manage to capture this account anyway and stick it to this list. And this is done with various tracking methods like CID and similar variations in personal details, location, and so on. Right, if I go to the top of the portal here, this first section simply shows the type of trader that they are, the status of this specific client. I can also see which one of my managers within my organization is managing this profile, and I can also see which one of my managers approved it. You know, I can even see where this client came from, and I'm referring to the actual lead source and specific lead campaign. And moving on, from here I can see all the personal details of this profile, like names, genders, emails, even preferred method of communication, so I know how this specific trader wants to be contacted. And I can even see if they're on any specific social networks. From here, I can see passport and issue date, as well as permanent address location. We also have the regulations section, which basically shows some of these additional fields and questions that you can ask to your traders within this registration process. For example, employment industry, tax ID, annual income, and so on. And of course, we now have the all-important documents section, and it is from here that all KYC documents will automatically be uploaded and stored. You know, these are the exact same documents that the trader uploaded himself during the registration process. So basically, when a trader attaches documents from the front end or the mobile, these documents are automatically uploaded and stored in this back office that you're looking at. And then a compliance specialist within your company may then download to check them. They can set an appropriate status to these documents to show whether they're approved or rejected and so on. And any document changes that you make are clearly shown in this version section, which is more or less like a mini journal. And here you see all the document files. You know, you can even attach specific comments to specific documents if needed. And I would also like to add that you, the broker, can also upload documents yourself just by clicking on New. And again, you can attach any specific status to this and attach all your document files from here. You know, you can attach as many documents as you like, and they are all stored on a server level. Moving on, we have our comments section, which basically allows you to make as many comments as you like about this specific trader. All comments are recorded. You will also be able to see the exact date and time that a comment was made, and by which one of your managers also. You know, you can make as many comments as you like here. You can make them as long-winded as you want. You can literally attach full-length stories about your traders if needed. So you can keep tabs on everything that is going on, and everything is logged. I will now hand you over to my colleague Christoforos, who will show you something a little different now, and will give you a walkthrough of our new analytics functionality. I'm sure you will really enjoy what you are about to see.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony, for your presentation. It was certainly informative for any broker running MetaTrader 5. And of course, it's going to be useful for anybody considering an upgrade to the MetaTrader 4. Now, we're going to change subject, and we're going to see something different. We're going to talk about the analytics of our system and how we can make them work for us and make sense to better run and brokerage business. Now, The analytics is a completely new functionality added to the MetaTrader 5 back office, which takes MetaTrader 5 for brokers to a new league of its own. We have added a whole new section providing you important key metrics that is vital for every brokerage business, allowing you to analyze your audience, spot their preferences, so you can effectively make better decisions regarding your traders, business operations, and marketing campaigns. This analytical tool is in the form of a dashboard. It's accessible through the MetaTrader 5 Manager Terminal under the section Analytics. And let's see how simple it is to create the dashboards from the drop-down menu list here. With just 3 clicks, you can create analytics about trading accounts, online users, open trades, advertising campaigns, and everything, and it gives you a bird's eye view of your business and your audience. For an example, let's take a look about the trading accounts analytics that we have. You can see accounts by country. For an example, here I've got 23% of my accounts is from Germany, then we have 20% from France, then we have 18% from Spain, and so on, out of these 57,000 accounts. The same applies for accounts by last activity date. You can see which date has the most active accounts. You can see accounts by balance, showing you, for an example, the range of the balances of the net worth of your clients. For an example, I've got about 27 accounts between 1 million and 3 million. Then I've got about 23%, which a balance of 10,000 and 30,000, and so on. And you can also see accounts by language. For an example, I've got 27% French-speaking, 20% English-speaking, German-speaking, Italian-speaking, and so on. Now, what does this mean? This means that you can make available your corporate material, such as news, newsletters, economic calendar, promotions available into these languages, and also have account managers available for these languages to better serve your clientele. Now, after you create these dashboards and these analytics, then with one click, you can save this, and this is saved on this manager account on the MT5 server side. This means that you don't need to create this all the time, and by just logging in with your manager account credentials, you're going to have ready-made these analytics in front of you. Now, let's move forward and generate some analytics about our online users now. In this dashboard, you have high-level details of your connected traders right now. For an example, you can see data from the top 10 connected countries right now. I've got Germany, then we've got, for an example, second, I've got Italy, Spain, France, and so on. And the same applies for clients by cities here. You can see, for an example, I've got a lot of clients from Berlin, Madrid, Milan, and so on. And what you can do, if, for an example, you are a global broker and you want to expand, it's a good idea to see which cities you have more traders online and connected, and you can use this data to set up offices in strategic locations like this to better serve your clientele. Moreover, we can see how our traders, they placed, for an example, these trades. And for this, we're going to see the online orders by type. Actually, you can see how they're connected right now. We can see we've got a lot of PC users using the client terminal out of the 700 connected traders. Then we've got about 15% Android users. You've got iPhone users, web trader users, Signal users, and so on. And you can also see how the balances are distributed among these almost 700 clients. All this data that we see here, it's dynamic, it's updated on the fly without the need to manually refresh this dashboard, thus allowing you to have a bird's eye view of your online traders and the other analytics at any time. Now, so far, the accounts data helps us understand our client base. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to dig deeper to see their activities by creating some analytics about their trades. We will start with the sentiment, which is something that always was a must-have indicator of the positions in the markets. We have now made it possible to generate the market sentiment for all the selected traders' positions here consolidated. This tool is also good for your risk managers. You can see, for an example, we've got Euro, Turkish Lira. Now everybody, for an example, is buying it. Then we've got, for an example, USD JPY. We have a few shorting it, and so on. Now, anything you see here, it can be customized for specific countries, for specific group of accounts, and so on. Next, we have also the positions by symbol. Here it displays out of these 50,000 open trades, how they executed, for an example, this trade. We've got 40% Euro USD, we've got GBP USD, then about 10%, and so on. Then we've got positions by reason. We see that these trades have been executed through mobile terminals, client terminals, using algo trading expert advisors, web trader, signals for copy trading, and so on. Also, you can track down positions by stop loss, and the same you can do as well for the take profit. Now, we all know that the stop loss and take profit are the two most significant elements of trade management. And for all the traders, you can see how many of the positions they are actually using this fundamental risk management and return functionality. In my case, out of these 50,000 trades, 94% they are not using a stop loss, for an example. So this gives you an overall idea of what type of traders you are dealing with. Now, let's move on to the marketing part. We all know how difficult it is to decide and to distribute a broker's marketing budget and then to track down the real performance. Our embedded analytics dashboard allows you to track your lead sources, your lead campaigns, and but what we have done differently, we have combined the data analytics with Finteza. For those which you are not familiar with Finteza, it is the ultimate analytics and advertising engine for brokers, as it provides you with in-depth website and mobile app traffic analytics, user behavior and quality analysis with bot detection, and allows you creation of conversion funnels. Now, let's start for an example to see the accounts by advertising campaign. Here you can see how many accounts were opened from which advertising campaign that you are running. For an example, in my case here, I'm running 6 advertising campaigns. I see that the biggest return was from this one, for an example. Then I've got this one, and so on. And it shows you how many accounts were opened from each. You can also see leads from social network. MetaTrader 5 and Finteza can track how many leads you are receiving from each social network. For example, I received 3,000 leads. You can see I've got from YouTube, Facebook. You're going to see LinkedIn, Twitter, QQ, and other types of social networks. The same applies for the leads from search engines. It can show you how many leads you are receiving, for an example, from Google, from Bing, from Yahoo, and any other search engine that you are using. And in turn, you can see how well your search engine optimization is doing by combining these analytics. The same applies from the referrers. It can display you the website you are using to refer you leads, how many leads each website is bringing you, and you can track the real performance. Now, this data gives us a good overview of which campaigns are performing better in terms of bringing you more leads and clients. So you can enhance your marketing activities and optimize your marketing costs and budgets more effectively. Now, let's move on to the website statistics. Since Finteza is integrated with MetaTrader 5, it can track down all your website statistics, such as daily visits, Also, daily referred leads that they came to your website. And if you see these two, they are actually correlated. It can also show you your daily unique visitors because it can track quality data. It can also track the page views per visitor. In my case, each visitor is viewing about 2 pages each time. You can also see the bounce rate. The bounce rate, for those who doesn't know what this is, it represents the percentage of how many visitors navigate and leave your website after the initial view. And more interestingly, you can track how many clicks your advertisements had on your websites. This is such as banners, for an example. Now, Finteza, since it also allows you to manage your website advertising, it can track multiple variables such as all impressions. For an example, it shows of how many times a banner was displayed on your website and on which date, and which banner has been had the most impressions. Also, you can see the total banner clicks per day, and also which of these banners had the most clicks, which of these advertisements, for an example. In my case, it was the first one, for an example, and then in turn you can talk with your marketing on how to enhance and increase the clicks on your other advertisement as well. You can also track and see the CTR. For those that doesn't know, it's the click-through rate, showing you what percentage of visitors clicked on your ad and how this CTR is being distributed. For an example, which ads had the most click-through rates. Now, this is just an overview of the analytics that we saw now. And with the integration with MetaTrader 5 and Finteza, it can be further extended for more detailed analytics as you may need. Because if you see from here, you can track any variable you may think of. For an example, page views per visitor, zone clicks, daily zone clicks, traders by device, by browser, by language, by operating system. It's unbelievable how many things you can do with the analytics, and more especially is within the MetaTrader 5 back office without the need to leave and go to another interface. Now, I believe that you must all be impressed by now by these major updates with MetaTrader 5 and with the integration with Finteza Analytics as we are, because everything we showcase today is available today now on MetaTrader 5 and ready to be utilized by your brokerage. If you have onboarded MetaTrader 5, you should start taking advantage of this analytics and the functionality to optimize your business. Anyone still on MetaTrader 4, we will be happy to assist you and upgrade to MetaTrader 5, as this is just of the few of the major updates that you are going to benefit immediately. Now, we're going to have now a quick Q&A session, and here with us we have our CIO, Mr. Aytugan Kafizov. Thank you.
Hello. Questions, anyone?
Question?
Yep.
Are brokers switching to MT5? Are they really switching over?
Usually, so they doing migration. So they start in MT5 first, and then so they start in moving new. So they develop new clients to MT5 because it's it's also good from like financial perspective. If you have multiple MT4 servers, you need to add every server like every 6 months or every year. So in MT5 it has much more capacity. So you can fit within one server, within one cluster with multiple trading servers, you can fit all your clients.
What's your question?
Yes, we are switching to MT5, not completely. We are using both platforms, MT4 and MT5. We appreciate the better things that MT5 is bringing. I just wanted to ask a question. That account opening functionality, which you just went through,
Yes.
is it available in the web version of the platform?
Not yet.
So for now, clients can...
It's available in a desktop, mobile, Yes, in desktop and mobile. And by the way, so when you will do transition from MT4 to MT5, don't. You should always remember that you need to train your people, that you need to train your staff, and it takes a time.
Okay, any more questions?
What technical, sorry,
Go on, go ahead.
Yes, yes.
if I take the word from everyone, you showed us how the information and the profile of the client in this document, and you said they are stored. Where are they stored exactly? Because
On trading server. On trading server in special database, in special file, and it has version control. So it means that if you replace the new version, like for example, like your, I don't know, like proof of address is expired, and you need to upload a new one. So you upload a new file, all old file will be stored indefinitely. So you can always track the history.
But my question was more, should that database be on the trading server itself, because over time
It is on the trading server itself.
and should stay there?
Yes, and it stayed here, and we spent, I think, about 8 months to design such database. So it's really reliable and fast.
My question is more IT related, because over the time that database will obviously increase, and you will need to spend more cost in order to have bigger capacity trading service.
Come on, what is the size of your storage of your phone? It can be much more than you have on the trading server.
It's in a matter of terabytes, but
It's not a matter of terabytes; it's a matter of gigabytes. But
I mean over capacity of our servers. That's
yeah.
what I meant. I mean that.
And we use compression, by the way, so it's compressed.
So it's not an issue from size point of view.
I can say that size will not affect your performance of the server. Of course, it will consume the database, it will consume the disk space, but it's not like MT4 when you have like growing database and the performance going down. So no, it can grow indefinitely over like gigabytes and terabytes, and performance will be not affected.
But in general, the size of that file should not be that big.
It depends how big, how many documents. Yes, you'll upload documents there.
Okay, questions, yeah?
As we just started system, so we'll provide it free of charge for the version, and then we will announce our subscription prices. It will be available via subscriptions. So for this year, till the end of the year, for sure, it will be available for free. If you want to test it, you need to create a service desk ticket, and we will switch it on for your company, and we will give you access. It will be available from the manager or through a special Finteza portal, both.
Okay, questions, anyone? No, we good? No more?
Yes,
Okay.
if you have more questions, you can go to our booth and we will explain you everything.
Thanks for your time, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank
All
you,
the
everybody.
best.
Thank you.